Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Excisioner by me. So let's get into it. The signs are very small, barely noticeable. A figure you caught in reflections, a shadow that lingered too long when you left the house. At first you told yourself it was nothing. Fontaine's streets were crowded, full of eyes and whispers, and being connected to her was enough to draw people's attention. But soon, you started seeing the same silhouette. A dark coat, a gloved hand gripping a lamppost, and you felt like you were being watched. Always. You didn't tell Arlecchino. You didn't want to seem weak. Not in her eyes, and not after everything she taught you. But she noticed anyway. That evening, you came home late. The air smelled like rain, and your steps echoed faintly in the empty hall. You were quiet as you took off your coat, hoping to slip into your shared room before she returned from her meeting. But when you pushed open the door, she was already there, sitting on the edge of the bed, her eyes sharp and unreadable. "You're late," she said, her voice calm, too calm. You blinked, caught off guard. I had errands to. "Who is he?" The word stopped you cold. You opened your mouth, confused. What? Her gaze didn't waver. "The man who's been following you for the last week. Who is he?" You froze. So she knew. Of course she did. She always did. Arlecchino rose slowly from the bed, each movement deliberate, graceful, but carrying the dangerous precision that made your pulse quicken. "You didn't tell me. Why?" I thought I could handle it. I didn't want to trouble you." Her eyes narrowed, not in anger, but in disbelief. "Trouble me?" She stopped inches away, her hand lifting to tilt your chin up. "You think keeping something like that from me is less trouble?" You swallowed hard. Her touch wasn't rough, but the weight of her gaze made your knees weak. "I didn't want to seem like I needed protection," you whispered, and her expression softened. "Barely. You do need protection. Everyone does sometimes." You blinked up at her, and she sighed, brushing her thumb lightly against your jaw. "You're not weak for asking for help. You're weak for pretending you don't need it." You felt your chest tighten at that, her words cutting deep, but they were laced with something tender. "Did he do anything?" she asked, and you quickly shook your head. "No, he just watches, follows, always keeps distance." Her gaze darkened. "That's enough." The next day she insisted on accompanying you. Not openly. Arlecchino did not do obvious. She let you walk ahead through the markets, feigning casual distance, but you could feel her presence. Every time you looked over your shoulder, she wasn't there, but you knew she was near. And sure enough, as enough time passed, you caught sight of him, the stalker, standing across the street, his eyes fixed on you, and you froze mid-step. The world felt like it was closing in around you, every sound fading, until all you could hear was your heartbeat. Then without a word, Arlecchino appeared beside you. You hadn't even seen her move. Her hand brushed against your lower back. Barely noticeable, but grounding. "Stay here," she murmured. "Arlie, don't." But she was already gone. What followed didn't last long. From where you stood, you saw her approach him, calm, confident. The stalker stiffened, clearly realizing too late just what he was dealing with. She said something to him. You couldn't hear what, but whatever it was made the man go pale. His mouth opened, stammering an excuse, before she stepped closer. Close enough that her mere presence seemed to suffocate him. He backed away, stumbling, before vanishing into the alleys. Arlecchino stood there a moment longer, watching the direction he fled, then turned back to you. And when she returned, she didn't say a word. She took your hand, firm, protective, and led you home. That night when you sat together, she'd been quiet for a long time, leaning back in her chair. "He won't bother you again," she said finally, and you hesitated. "What did you do?" Her eyes flicked to you. "Nothing fatal." You frowned. "Arlecchino, do you think I don't know how this looks?" I just don't want anyone hurt because of me." Her tone softened slightly as she reached your side. "Do you honestly believe he would have stopped on his own?" You didn't answer. "He was watching you every day, every step. You think he'd let that continue?" You met her gaze, seeing not anger, but a fierce kind of protectiveness that made your chest ache. "I would do worse, for far less." You sighed. You knew who you lived with, and you knew how protective Arlecchino was, so you shouldn't be surprised. You just took her hand, squeezing it. "Well, if you're sure you've done the right thing." "I'm absolutely certain. I wouldn't doubt my actions for a second." You were quite sure she wouldn't, so you just nodded. After all, as much as you tried, you couldn't have that much sympathy for someone who stalked you. And to her, that was the only course of action she could take, the one that she knew best, and the one that made her mind at peace. And who were you to change her mind? She kissed you softly, smiling. "You have much better things to think about. Don't worry about this any longer, all right?" "All right, if you say so."